started?
It started.
I'm sure everyone remembers the Sandy Hook shooting. I know I do. I was in 7th grade and I didn't understand what was happening. Flash forward 7 years and 35 mass shootings later, and I and many other Americans are all too familiar with the sadness and shock that comes with shootings and the death as well. Luckily, there is a solution: stricter gun laws and more gun control. There is no textbook definition as to what actually classifies a shooting as a mass shooting, but there have been at least 35 widely known mass shootings since Sandy Hook in 2012. Before Sandy Hook, the only school shootings I knew of were the Columbine shooting and the Virginia Tech shooting. The topic of gun control can be daunting, but with just a few simple steps, there can be so much more safety in our country. Not only will more gun control and regulation help prevent mass shootings, but it can help prevent suicides and accidental deaths. According to a Wikipedia search I did, in 2013 there were 33,636 gun-caused deaths in the United States. Now obviously not all of those deaths are from mass shootings, so let's break it down. According to the Wikipedia search I did, there are 10.6 gun-caused or related deaths per 100,000 people, and of the 37,505 non-fatal firearm injuries, there are 23.2 injuries per 100,000 people. One of the biggest causes of mass shootings is mental illness and access to guns. Many people have access to guns when they shouldn't. Approximately 1 in 5 Americans, 43.8 million, or 18.5%, suffer from some sort of mental illness. With such a high amount of people suffering from mental illness and the easy accessibility to guns, the amount of mass shootings have skyrocketed since Sandy Hook. The first widely remembered school shooting was Columbine in April of 1999. According to History.com, the role of mass media, violent video games, and dark music were inspirations to the two shooters of Columbine. It has also been reported that a friend of the two shooters bought the guns for them. The next commonly known school shooting was the Virginia Tech shooting, which took place on April 16th of 2007. The shooter was 23 and had a history of mental illness, according to an article posted to CNN.com. A past English teacher of the shooter recalled a time that Cho, the shooter, had written a paper about how he wanted to recreate Columbine. In 2005, Cho was ordered by court to get outpatient care after making suicidal remarks, also stated in the article posted to CNN.com. On February 9th of 2007, Cho went out of state to pick up a gun that he had ordered online. In most states, people of the age of 18 and up can buy guns without background checks or any classes to teach them how to operate a gun correctly. Federal law requires someone to be at least 21 to buy a handgun from a licensed dealer, but only 18 years old in most places to buy a long gun. You have to be 21 to buy a handgun. In some states, mostly rural places with a strong tradition of hunting, you can buy a rifle at the age of 14. In an article posted to CBS.com, a boy that was 18 decided to do a study and see where he could buy guns and what kind. He went to a licensed dealer, and the only guns he could not purchase were handguns due to the federal law that I previously stated. In order to buy a gun, there is no background check that needs to be done. You can just go into the store and purchase one. There's no waiting period or anything. In an article posted to the New York Times explaining the process to get a gun in 15 different countries, the process that stuck out the most to me and was so much different than ours is Japan's. The process is as follows. You take a firearm class and pass a written exam, which is held up to 3 times a year, and you can only take it during one of those 3 times. You have to get a doctor's note saying you're mentally fit and do not have a history of drug abuse. You have to apply for a permit to take firing training, which may take up a month to process. You have to describe in a police interview why you need a gun. You must pass a review of your criminal history, gun possession record, employment, involvement with organized crimes, personal debt and relationships with friends and family. You have to apply for a gunpowder permit, take 1-day class training, pass a firing test, and obtain a certificate from a gun dealer describing the gun you want. If you want a gun for hunting, apply for a hunting license. You must buy a safe gun and ammunition locker that meets safety regulations. Allow the police to inspect your gun storage, pass an additional background check, and buy a gun. According to an article posted to Nippon.com, there are 15,612 gun-related deaths in the United States in 2017. This means that on average, 42 people were killed each day in the United States as a result of gun violence, which is just under the total of 44 related deaths in Japan over the past 8 years. That means that in Japan, on average, 5.5 people die each year from a gun-related incident, whereas in the United States, it is nearly 8 times that each day. If we took the same precautions as Japan, our country could be so much safer and so much less people would die. To show you exactly how easy it is to get a gun, I Googled, where can I purchase a gun, and these are the results. I found a website called Cheaper Than Dirt that sells guns online with no background check, no ID, all you need is your credit card. Another website I found is Walmart, which you can pick up in store or you can buy it online. Again, no background check, just a credit card, and if you're picking it up in store, you have to show an ID. Now that I've shown you some startling statistics, I hope that you can agree that gun control is a must. With just a few precautions, the death rates from guns can go drastically down, and so many lives could be saved. In the future, I hope that gun laws can be passed and we can all be safe.